So it looks like we will be jumping underway here in just a second. So we've got the Tasbien Esports side of Alfarius9 and Pando here up against Control H and Exosic, sorry. Hard name for me to say. Ooh, but a shot going straight over the net, straight over into the waiting arms of Farius, trying to get this over to his teammate, but Pando hanging back, knows that this ball could be boomed away really at any moment, doesn't want to open up the entire field for that. And now Farius, nice little 50 to get it over in front of the orange net, but Exo, I'm just going to call him Exo, going to be able to start getting this up the field. Does actually get it a nice booming pass, and that is going to be a close save from Pando. It's over onto the wall, going to bounce out over into Farius, but the full boost picked up from Exo, going to allow him to get this back over to H, and H going to hit that on over. Oh, Pando to catch it though. Now it's a 1v1. Exo though going to win it, get it over in front of that net. Farius does block him, and it's going to be a delayed shot. It does come out eventually, and it just goes straight in. Pando not able to get any sort of angle on it, and it's able to be perfectly blocked, they're perfectly getting right past him, sorry, as Exo gets the first goal on the board here for Sinister. Now it's going to be H and Pando going up for the middle. Farius gets a shot on net, but Exo going to clear it away. It's bouncing over to the left side of mid, goes up into the corner. Pando in a 50 against Exo, actually wins it out against both. Now Exo has to try to get this past Pando back in the back line, but isn't able to do it, and from downfield, Pando dribbles it up and gets it over into the goal to get the equalizer. 3 minutes 50 left here in game number 1, and the score is 1-1. It's going to be H going up here against Pando, and it is one out by Pando. It goes over straight into Exo's wheels though, and he's going to try to make some sort of double touch play. Does get over the backboard. H waiting for it, has to try to outplay Pando, but Pando just going to kill it over towards the wall. Exo trying just to take some control here over in the midfield, ends up passing it down to his teammate. Control H takes the shot, isn't quite able to get it past Pando, and it's killed to the corner again. Alfarius getting this ball up the field, trying to do a little bit of a fake out play past Exo, but a nice block, a nice kill. Pando gets it off the wall, it's going to back down to Exo, and he's going to get it up midfield. Stops it here, but the 50 going to be forced. Exo actually a backflip, opens up a shot for Alfarius, gets it over in front of the goal. Exo though with the touchdown to his teammate going to deny the shot. 3 minutes left, and this ball is just struggling over here in the orange side. H doesn't really have the boost to try to push anything here, so he's got to try to fall off, get some boost, let his teammate Exo come in, and that's exactly what happens. And Exo, what a beautiful little maneuver to get past both blue side team cars. They're just both double committed. I don't think they even really realized it. I think Pando just went for a hit, didn't quite get it, and caught his teammate off guard. But they were double committed, and just a nice little pop over both of them is going to get a second goal on the board here for Sinister. 2-1. Control H versus Pando. Actually, Pando, though, going to fall back, blocks the shot, a nice one put on net there from H, and now trying to win out in the corner again. Doesn't quite do it. It's going to be bounced over off the corner. Now Exo to clear it away. Decides to play it low, and that's going to open up a shot, but H gets it off the crossbar and out of the net. Pando tries to slow this down, keep it over in the orange end, but isn't quite able to do it. And now Alfarius wins out against H, but only manages to force a 50. Now has to clear it down the field, passes it back over to Pando. Pando does get the first bob. It's up on the wall. He's going to try to hit it on net, and it's going to go to Exo, and it's a blocked shot. Exo carrying this up the field, passes it over to H. H with a shot potentially, but gets it into the corner, trying to play this past both. It gets bounced off the wall to Pando, and now it's traveling up the field. Exo stopping the ball. Alfarius lobbing it into the backboard. It's a potential shot. It's actually on, but H clears it away, passes it down to Exosic, and now it's going to travel over to Alfarius, and the counterattack is real. Ooh, Alfarius a little bit of a missed jump, and that's going to open up the counterattack for the orange side now. Sinister looking to expand this lead. Pando catches it, passes it back over to his teammate, who's just trying to play it past Exo. Doesn't want to open up a shot, but the shot's opened up. Exo gets a shot on, but a nice clear away, and now it's Alfarius. Tries to get this ball downfield, but it's blocked out again and again. Pando, Alfarius both at full boost, have the ball in their possession. Exo doesn't need to clear that away. He knows it's off crossbar, but it opens it up for Alfarius and can Control H is just not able to get there. I know it's not Control H, but I don't know. CRTRH? I'll just call, yeah, it's just gonna be H. But either way, he's not able to get there and get in front of the ball. So it is gonna be an equalizer. 2-2 with a minute left on the clock. It's going to go over and bounce. Oh, in front of the net. It's almost a shot on from, I'm being told it's Carter H, so we'll just call him Carter. Thank you to Fury in the chat for that. It's gonna be Pando taking control, but Carter gonna be hitting it off the backboard, goes down over to Pando, over to Exo, and it's going to bounce back over into Farius's waiting car, tries to get the shot on net, gets it past both, and it is going to go in. And now with 45 seconds left, that 1-goal lead goes the way of Tasbien Esports yet again. And we know it took a while for that equalizer to come through for him, but now that they've pulled ahead, they just need 45 seconds of solid defense to deny overtime and get themselves this first win. Pando gonna win out on the kickoff to start it off. Exotic going up for a shot, gets it over in front of the net, but it's gonna be cleared away by Alfarius. Goes back over to Pando, who starts to dribble this up the wall to himself, but the bump away from Carter H going to allow Exo to get this up midfield over to Farius. Farius starts to get this on, does get it over both, but it's tapped away by Carter, and a beautiful touch saves them from certain disaster, as now that 1-goal lead is manageable. But Pando doing his best to try to get this ball on net. Exo takes control. 14 seconds, gets it past 1, but Zero Boost gonna force him off of it, trying to just get this ball up the field, try to get that miracle goal that they need. It's killed on the wall, 3 seconds, it's bouncing down towards the orange net, and unless Exo can get this ball straight up the field, which he does, he gets it over to Carter. Carter not quite able to dribble it in, and that will be the first game going the way of Tasbien here in a minute. Thank you guys for the patience as we try to just make sure these guys can play to the best of their abilities. It is still a 1-game lead for Tasbien Esports, so they are up in the series, but Sinister going to be looking to strike back. We have a new server for these guys, getting these guys as good as we can. It's as good as we're allowed, but Exotic saying that, you know what? Maybe he's blaming the whole thing on Ping last game because he comes through with a kickoff goal to start things off. Alfarius just not making any connection there, and Pando did not know that was coming. So a 1-goal lead early on for Sinister, and you know, that's not a bad thing to have in the pocket. Pando and Exo going for it yet again. Carter H gonna take control, backs it over, and Farius does end up winning it out, trying to get this past, any opposition, but does end up bumping out against Pando. Is allowing Carter H to take this. Actually can get a shot on net. It's bounced away by Farius. Pando 1v1 against Exotic, does manage to win it out, has a potential to shoot this in. Exotic pressures it off the net. Carter not going to allow that shot in, but I believe it was crossbar, so a little bit of an unfortunate touch. Pando touching it mid, and now Exo tries to keep this in the blue end, but ends up passing it straight back over to Farius. Gonna be a potential shot from Pando just wide of the net. Farius goes up the field trying to get this over, centered for his teammate. Exotic does clear it away, but he's demoed for that, and Pando gets around to the ball, and that is going to make it 1-1 in the series. And Tasbien Esports showing that first game wasn't just because of the ping, and this game, if it hadn't been for that kickoff goal, would be a 1-goal lead. But the kickoffs go as they may. And it's 1-1 with 4 minutes 10 on the clock. It's hit away by Exo. Carter with a shot on net. It is high. Bounces over to Exo, but he's not ready to receive it. Trying just to kill this mid. Keep it in front of the net as long as he can. Gets a nice shot over, but Carter has already fallen back to cover the back line. And it's a lob over. That's actually on. Exotic, though, a beautiful save. Getting back just in time, but he isn't able to prevent the follow-up shot from Farius. And a beautiful little shot to finish off a good lobbing goal there from Pando. Alfarius comes in and just seals the deal, and now it will truly be a 1-goal lead as Tasbien Esports goes up 2-1 in this game. Exotic, doesn't quite manage to connect onto the ball, but Carter is luckily there to block that opening kickoff. Exo getting a little bit of a bump onto Farius as well, but it ends up allowing him to get a touch on that ball. Pando trying to get this up the field, actually gets it over to Farius, who gets a shot on net, and that's a 3-1 lead. And what a fast transition from defense to offense. The minute that shot's out, Farius is already down the field. It's an immediate pass and an immediate shot. Very well played and a good situational awareness to get that shot going. And now 3 minutes 33 and Tasbien Esports are here to play. A 2-goal lead and another missed connection on the kickoff. It just seems like these kickoffs, maybe they're going for fakes, but the fakes are not working out. Exhaustic isn't able to win out there and does invest all his boost. Luckily, Carter able to catch back, but with Exhaustic dead, it is actually a shot over in front of the net. Carter manages to win out, and what a great situational read. He goes in here, knows that Pando has an easy clear on this ball, and just reads it straight off the clear. Great job from Carter to salvage a goal, and now that 2-goal lead is beginning to shrink 3-2. Tasbien Esports trying to get this off. Both players connect with the kickoff this time, and now Exo takes control in front of the goal. Over 1. Can he get over 2? Gets it off crossbar. Carter trying to prevent a booming clear here, and he does, but Alfarius pressures him. It's going to go over in front of the net, and that's the 2-goal lead regained. Nice job from Pando to get there, snipe it right off the top of this little situation that they got themselves into, and gets themselves a 4th goal. Ugh. Exhausting. Going up against Pando. Both players will connect, but it goes Pando's way. Carter gets a quick little demo for himself, and now in a 1v1, Alfarius knows he has to fall back. A pass over to Exhaustic does end up lobbing this in front of the goal. Carter not able to get it on net, but Exhaustic's there to follow it up, and a nice play off the kickoff. Exhaustic takes control in the midfield. It's a pass up to Carter. Carter sees the pressure from Farius, just gets it off the backboard to his teammate, and Exotic tops it in right over Pando's head. And now the 2-goal lead evaporating yet again. Neither team able to hold that 2-goal lead for too long. Pando does get the ball, but Exhaustic, great read to get it off the backboard. Tries to go off the wall, but a backflip isn't going to allow him to. Pando isn't able to connect with it off the wall, though. The read isn't there. Carter with a boom upfield. It isn't going to go in, and Farius is going to kill it over towards the wall. Low boost here, though, on him, so Pando tries to make a play, isn't able to do it. It's killed down towards the ground, and that's exactly where Farius needed it to be. He gets it cleared away. It's off the wall. Pando trying to prevent Carter's shot here. Carter expected a play there from Pando and isn't rewarded for it. He ends up having to fall back, and Exhaustic trying to just stop this offense on the wall. It's bouncing out into a 1v1 versus Farius. He's going to let his teammate take that shot, and now Exhaustic already on the re-aggression. Gets the demo for his trouble, but a nice stop from Pando. It's lobbed in front of the net, and Carter gets the equalizer. 2 minutes left, and it's a 4-4 game. Neither of these teams wants to let go of their current undefeated streak in IGL. And with 2 minutes left, it's currently either team's game. 4-4. Let's see how this kickoff goes. It's Exhaustic versus Pando. It goes over towards the mid. Carter already has a play up towards the ball. It's going to go towards him in the midfield. Tries to get this off of a play. Gets it actually off of Alfarius' touch. Going to lob this over in front of the net, but it's an easy clear by Pando. 15 boost, so he tries to just play this low towards the ground. Exhaustic wins it out. Oh, and Carter tries to get the bump there onto Farius. Isn't able to do it. Lobs it towards his own net, and that is unfortunate. Let's we can look at that one more time, but a good hit from Farius just to get it into the midfield, and unfortunate. It's really unfortunate when the only thing you can hit is nutty shots, and sometimes the goal's your own net. But here comes the next kickoff, a chance for Sinister to try to evaporate the lead yet again. It's going to bounce over towards Exhaustic. Currently a wide open goal. Pando fights him and wins the fight. Carter in the corner trying to win this out. Pando takes control, taps it mid. Carter, though, keeping the offense out of their end, gets it over mid. Now Farius has to fall back. A nice hat flip allows him to catch it, but gives it over to Pando. With 90 boost, Pando trying to get an air dribble. Gets a little flip reset for his troubles, but Carter's going to be the one that gets anything out of it. Gets it into the corner. Farius to clear it over into the left side of the field. And now Exhaustic taking the 1v1. They both miss. Ball's going to go off the backboard. Pando trying to read it. Does hit it! But you know what? They see an own goal, they raise an own goal, and you gotta give it to the Tasbien Esports side. Their own goal was more impressive. So, it's a tied game. 5-5, 50 seconds left, and the next goal could certainly seal it. How is the kickoff going to go? It's Farius versus Carter. Farius wins it. It's actually a beautiful pass over in front of the net. Past Pando, though, and now Exhaustic dribbling this over. He gets it past both, but Pando isn't able actually to get it on off of net. And now Carter pressuring already, and Pando finally is able to get this ball out of the immediate spitting distance of the net. But Exhaustic is definitely making sure they can't rest easy. He gets a shot on net, but blocked by Pando. Now Carter on the wall with it. 0 boost on Pando, just trying to find something he can do. Does start to get the ball over out into mid. Exhaustic, both players pressuring him actually, as it's a double commit on the offense. And now Farius just trying to buy some time. They feel that they can win it out in OT. They just can't allow these shots to come through. It's going to go off the backboard. It's a potential for a booming goal. Exhaustic knows that that would have been a shot, but he doesn't have the boost, has to fall back, deny any sort of buzzer beater goals, and it is going to be a bouncing over towards the net. Carter takes a control of it, trying to get this over towards the blue net, but it's going to be overtime in our second game of the series. Pando, Exhaustic, go for it. It's in the blue side. Farius gets full control of the ball. Carter to stop it, bouncing it back into the blue side. Now Exhaustic trying to chase it. Gets it into the corner, not able to do too much more with it. Farius goes down, blocks Exhaustic a bit, and that's going to be enough for Pando to come through. It's a shot over, and Carter H gets it directly over the top of Alfarius and directly into the goal. And that will be Sinister striking back immediately and tying the series up 1-1. And a great job there from the Sinister boys to bring it back. Let me just make sure they're all good with the server. Okay. So, I mean, an end of a pretty nice game there. We got to see really back and forth. Really nutty own... the own goals. Yeah, that was just the server, my friends. The server was causing that. So, a 1-1 in the series. We've got 2 games left to play at a minimum. We're going to a game 4, ladies and gentlemen. Will we see the full game 5? No sweeps today as, ooh, Alfarius gets a shot over. It's a fake kickoff. Does go Orange's way as it's a shot towards the net. It's off the top crossbar. Bounces back over. Exhaustic, though, trying to fall back and get themselves some field. Pando gets the demo onto him, and now full ball control over here on the Tasbien Esports side. It's going to be lobbed up field. Exhaustic not able to read the boom, and now Farius tapping it over. Pando going to have to fall back. It's a little bit too far for him. Carter, though, has already aggressed. He's up on the wall here chasing against Pando. It's going to bounce down. Pando does get a read on it, but it's going to be a forced 50 from Exhaustic. Carter gets a shot on net. Nice clear away by Farius. 4 minutes 20. Exhaustic does get the boom onto Farius, but the ball going to be shot into their end. He just has to play this down, knows it's a 1v2, gets it onto the wall, and he is going to eventually start getting it into the blue end. Gets a nice little ceiling shot, but isn't able to transition it down the field. Gonna be lobbed over in front of the goal, though, and Exhaustic is not able to get back, and Alfarius gets a wide open goal and scores the first goal of the game, putting Tasbien Esports in the lead at 1-0 with a 1-1 series. So 4 minutes 3. Will Sinister strike back, or will Tasbien manage to extend this lead? And it looks like they're looking to strike back as Carter hits a banger straight off the corner. Exhaustic going to start pressuring up the field. He is able to force a 50, but it ends up going back into his own end. Carter so fast already to this ball. Pando falls back a bit, but Exhaustic already chasing it. 0 boost. He is trying just to get this over to his teammate, and he does in a nice pass. Carter gets a shot on net, but nicely saved away by Pando. Exhaustic trying to prevent any fuddy business. Pando faking out Carter a bit, and now it's going to be Exhaustic trying to get some sort of control on this ball. Low boost, so he does what he can, but he cannot get that ball in front of the net. Carter tries to take control, and now it's going to be a fast play up the field for the blue side. Exhaustic stops it, gets a play of his own going, cleared away by Farius. Still a 1-goal lead, 3 minutes left on the clock now. Exhaustic just killing the momentum for a bit, allowing his team the opportunity just to regroup, but it's over both. That shot's not on, but Exhaustic's going to clear it over off the wall. Gets it past one. It's Alfarius in a 1v1. It's actually over to the left side of the goal, but it's a double commit here from the Orange boys, and they just have to fall back. Full boost gotten from Farius. Taps it out mid. Starts to dribble it up, but it's met by Exhaustic in the top of the field. Now it's an open net, but Farius Farius going to stop that immediately, kills it towards the wall. Exhaustic gets demoed immediately, and that's karma for you, as Carter H ends the bloodshed with a goal to get Sinister, tying up this game and yet again tying up the series at 1-1. Let's go, as we've got a game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. The deaths were avenged with a goal, and now Exhaustic going to try to get themselves a second goal, but it goes over the way of the blue side. Carter to try to kill this mid, goes for a ceiling shot to hit it over into the back left of the field, killing the offense for the blue side. Now Exhaustic trying to counter-aggress, has only 12 boost, gets 20 for his trouble, tries to half flip off the wall and make something happen, but Carter ends up aggressing a little bit too far forward, and now Farius does get the ball up the field, but Pando kills it. Carter H gonna try to dribble this up. His teammate does not have much, can't really go for any sort of boom play. It is actually tap past both though, and Carter H, what a little back pass to get it past both both blue teams. I can't talk right now because that shot was just absolutely incredible. A backflip to hit the ball over the last defender and get it straight in. 2-1. 2 minutes left, and now Sinister takes the lead. Carter goes for the shot, does actually get it past both, and Farius is going to have to fall back for this. Does catch it off the wall, going to boom it over in the midfield to Exhaustic. Exhaustic taking control, kills it mid, get past Farius. Now it's Pando, 1v1, it's a lob over him, but he does get a touch on it. That's going to kill it towards the corner. Exhaustic passes it back over towards Farius, and now Carter to retake control. Farius touches it mid. It's going to go over to Exhaustic, who now gets control in the midfield. 1:40. Gets a shot on net and does not miss those. Exhaustic seals the deal for a 2-goal lead at 3-1 with 1:40 left on the clock. Pando gets a little bit too greedy for the boost there, allows a little bit too much of the goal to get shown, and Exhaustic does not miss those. 3-1, 1:40, and now it's Pando versus Carter H. Farius takes control in the midfield, gets it past one, has an open net, and that's going to be a goal. Now the lead has immediately shrank to a 1-goal lead. And Tasbien Esports, they do not allow even a moment of weakness. They get immediately back into this. And that means that Sinister has immediately got to try to fix their attitudes and get themselves from leaving this lead behind. Farius goes for the shot. It's going to actually be a fake over to his teammate. Pando does get a shot over towards the net. It's a pass over to Farius. It's a low lob towards the goal. Pando tries to get it on net. It's a nice attempt, but Exhaustic is able to read it and gets back 60 boost though on Farius. Lobs it over both defenders, but Pando is not ready for that. Is currently just holding off against Carter H and now tries to regress against Exhaustic. Farius keeping this alive in the orange end, and Exhaustic trying just to deny any shots. They only have a minute to go until the series is within spitting distance of being won for the Sinister side. And as the time ticks forward, Tasbien Esports is going to feel more and more pressure to try to make a play happen. And now Farius, he's certainly making some plays happen. A beautiful ceiling shot to get it downfield. And now Exhaustic takes control. Pando tries to aggress him, but it's an open net. But Farius gets back, gets a touch on it, and Carter H has to clear this out of the orange end yet again. 30 seconds left. The pressure is starting to mount. Farius booms it over down the field. It's going to be cleared away by Exhaustic, and now Farius respawns immediately in the ball's path, and it's going to be a bump. Pando has to try to bump him out of the way to take the ball, and that's going to cause a demo. Carter H gets Pando. He's the one with the boost, but it gets boomed down the field, and Farius, how many times has he done that this series? Gets it past every single one of the Sinister members and straight into the goal, and that's a 16-second equalizer. Sinister have got to be kicking themselves for that double commit. It's really their only kryptonite so far in this series, and Pando wins out the kickoff on top of it. Exhaustic does take control, so it's going to go over into Farius's waiting wheels. Isn't quite able to get anything out of it. Ooh, and Carter H gets a nice try to buzzer beater, but Pando to clear it away. It's going up off the corner, going up onto the backboard, and that will be overtime here in game number 3. Who is going to take the lead on the series and be within one game of the victory? Pando gets a shot at the net. It's over both. Is that going to go in? And it does. And Pando wins off the kickoff immediately. And you know what? We were caught watching that demo. We didn't even get to see it. Gets over Carter H, and that is going to seal it up, and that will be the blue side going up 2-1 as Tasbien Esports take their second game, and every single one of these has been close as heck, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Chris Killa, Fury 8 Mad in the chat cheering on the Sinister boys. Not even worried, he says, and honestly, can't blame him. These boys are showing that they can put up a hell of a show. It's just, you know, those few double commits are getting taken advantage of. If they realize that those double commits are happening, get in there and actually clean those up, these guys are going to be able to get these remaining 2 games absolutely. Tasbien Esports going to be trying to shut that down with all their might as we go into what could potentially be the final game. Silence at the kickoff as Exhaustic takes the first one over into the corner, getting it back over into the midfield, trying to make some sort of a play. Actually gets it past Alfarius, almost gets a rolling goal, and I almost choked on my water in amazement for how quickly he almost got that first goal lead. Exhaustic wins it out against Pando. He's not messing around. He's trying to seal this up and get themselves a game 5. Kills it over into the corner to Carter H. Is going to take control. It goes up onto the wall, and Farius reads it. It's a pass over to Pando, and a nice touch from Exhaustic to deny that shot. He's carrying it up the field, lobs it over to Carter H, and that's a sealed goal. And the first goal of this game, giving Sinister a goal that they, quite frankly, very much needed to take the lead and get themselves a chance at survival in this series. 4 minutes 22. These boys are not messing around. We're going to see Carter H up against Pando. Wins it out. Farius, though, going to take control. Gets a lob over towards the goal. It's a shot, but it goes off the crossbar and straight into Carter's car, and that will be the first goal for the Tasbien side. And Carter, I mean, it's just unfortunate. That's how it goes sometimes. 4 minutes 16. Immediately, Carter going to take possession off the kickoff. Gets it past one. Actually has to give it up because it ends up bouncing towards Farius, but gets repossession in front of the goal. And that is an easy shot for him. And he says, you know what? I'm just here to score goals. He's scored every single goal in the series so far. He's even going to own goal just to show some pity to the enemy side. And with 4 minutes left, it's 2-1 for the Sinister side. Pando gonna fall back as Alfarius goes up against Exhaustic, actually ends up following it up, and now it could be a potential equalizer, but Exhaustic reads this. He's waiting for it, doesn't have much boost, gets the touch though. Pando, a nicely placed shot, denied by Exhaustic, and now Carter immediately on the counter offense, cleared away by Pando into the corner, but it's gonna be a touchdown over into the midfield. Actually touches it very nicely in front of that right corner, but isn't able to connect onto anything. Exhaustic takes control, Pando forced to clear it away, gets it over into the midfield, and now Carter, to kill it down towards the left, is trying just to read the wall a little bit, see what situation he's going to have to play with. Bounces down in front of the goal, but Alfarius with nobody contesting him, and it's an easy clear. And now Exhaustic to try to slow this down, start getting it away. It actually gets a shot in, but Carter in the background to save it and prevent any equalizer yet. Pando gets it off the backboard, and Farius tries to follow it up. It's on the wall. 3 minutes, so plenty of time to be played with by both teams. Carter takes possession, forces a 50, a little bit risky, but does force it over to the left side. Now Farius, tries to get a pass off to Pando, but Pando, realizing that he's not going to beat Carter out there, gets it back over. Pando, a shot, but Exhaustic to clear. It's going to be cleared away by Carter finally, and that save from Exhaustic keeps this lead alive. Exhaustic takes control of this ball, starts getting it over. Pando fighting against him, and now giving up the ball is going to allow him to retake full possession. Not quite able to get too much out of it, ends up actually taking it back up the wall, and the time is ticking down. And right now, you know, that's all the orange side has to do here. Try to get themselves that 2-goal lead and just kill time. I mean, they're up in the series, force some mistakes, and Exhaustic forcing a shot over the top of the goal. Carter tries to follow it up. Pando with the potential to boom it away actually ends up passing it back over to Alfarius, and now Farius trying to make a play of his own. No boost in front of the net, but it's not going to matter. And now maybe what ended up being a little bit of a cocky commitment into the blue end is going to end up costing the equalizers here for the Sinister side as they lose their lead. It's evaporated, and with 2 minutes left on the clock, it's all twos on the scoreboard. as Sinister tries to make the series score all twos. It's going to go up the field. Pando taking control, going to try to pass this over to Farius. Actually, he's just going to shoot it himself and forces a save out of Carter. Nicely done to deny a lead for the Tasbien side, but it's lobbed over mid. Exhaustic has to save, and now Carter to follow it up. Tabs down by Pando. Tabbed again, but it is going to be over towards the ball. Towards the goal, sorry. The ball bouncing towards both orange players, and another double commit comes through. Pando does get a bump on one, but the constant pressure from Carter going to deny a shot, and a double commit almost costs them a lead again, but it is going to allow them to regroup and now hold off against Tasbien Esports play towards mid. Carter H takes control, gets over towards the wall. Excuse me, as the ball gets shot over towards the net. Exhaustic retakes control. Pando gets a demo and the boost for his trouble, trying to get this over to his teammate Carter H, the last man alive, and with it all to do, gets it up the field. Exhaustic not able to place it on net, but is able to kill it down. A minute left on the clock. Now Pando trying to make a play himself, isn't able to connect onto it. Zero boost in the tank. It's going to bounce over into the midfield. Farius gets a double touch off the left wall to kill it over towards Exhaustic. A nice little backflip to get it past one. It's now just Pando in the 1v1. Farius gets the kill. Carter to try to fight this over a bit, but ends up just grabbing the boost, tries to play it towards mid, sees the ceiling shot attempt, and the flip reset comes out, and Exhaustic kills it straight down over in front of the orange net. A touchdown from Farius. Exhaustic is not risking allowing that to go over in front of the net, and with 36 seconds, he's content just making a play himself, and what a play to make! And Exhaustic, with 30 seconds left, gets a 1-goal lead for Sinister Esports. Sinister, here part of Spiral Esports, who is looking suddenly to make their Game 5 dreams come alive. And you know what? Fury ain't mad saying in the chat, that boy Slippery, he is indeed snaking past every member of Tasbien Esports and scoring a goal, but Alfarius is immediately looking to try to get it back, gets it over in front of the net, tries to force out a shot from Carter, but Carter's going to give it up, allows this ball to be killed over towards the wall. Now Exhaustic in front of the goal again. Pando has to force out a clear. Carter to try to force a shot, and it's back over to Exhaustic, who gets it, starts air dribbling it, but it's going to be killed down from Farius. Not as well as he'd like, but it's going to bounce over into mid. It's a potential for a shot from Pando. Does get it up the field. It's going to bounce over towards the corner, and Exhaustic's just trying to kill this. Let's end the game, they say, and Sinister is going to give us a Game 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we will go all the way. And that beautiful little slip-away goal from Exhaustic ends up getting the match for the Tasbien Esports side. And you know, you got to give him credit. Sinister scoring 4 out of the 5 goals in that series. Tasbien Esports only able to get 1. But it just goes to show you, Sinister is devoted to getting these shots on net and taking this win. Whoever wins this match will still have the option to have a flawless run in IGL this season. Will it be Sinister? Will it be Tasbien Esports? Let's find out. It's a full aggression from everybody as the ball bouncing towards Carter. Pando going to be the one to win it out eventually, but it's over in front of his own net. A little air dribble play off the wall, going to get it over to Farius. Back passes it to his teammate Pando. Nicely placed shot, but it's going to bounce off. A double commit on the defense, and Farius within 14 is going to take the first goal of the final game of this best of 5. Exhaustic, a good touch to save it away, but Carter just commits with him. And yet again, the only thing causing Sinister's downfall is the double commits. They are trying their absolute best, getting these shots when they need to. It's just those slight gaps that are being exploited here by Tasbien Esports. Pando exploiting yet another gap, tries to at least, but Carter H wins it out, and now they're both on the offense. Exhaustic tries to get the catch off Carter's pass. Carter even gets a demo for it, but it's going to end up being Pando with a full ball in front of the net. Ooh, cleared away by Carter. Farius to keep this in the orange half, gets it into the corner, reads the play there from Exhaustic, gets it over to Pando, and the shot just sinks in. A 2-goal lead, and that is a shell-shocked Carter you see in goal as the ball just sinks directly in and scores that first 2-goal lead of the game. And with 4 minutes left, Sinister is going to have to crank up the aggression, try to get these shots on net, not allow as many balls through. But Pando, another beautiful kickoff, and that's something you got to give Tasbien as well. These kickoffs have been amazing. And now Exhaustic gets it over into mid. Carter wins the 50, actually has a shot. He isn't able to get it on though. Bounces into the corner. Farius wins out the 50 against Exhaustic, and now Carter trying to get back. Pando forces out an early hit. Farius takes control, but demoed for the trouble. This ball, now anyone's game over in the blue side, bouncing in front of the goal. Carter trying to pressure this, ends up forcing a boom out from Pando, but Exotic already here to try to catch it, and Farius killing it back again over towards mid. Pando trying to back pass, ends up getting it back past both of the orange aggressors, but ends up having to dribble it up the field, gets it to himself, and that's a lob on net. Exotic clears it away, and now Farius to try to replay this, gets it over in front of the net. Carter back to the corner. 3 minutes left, and now Pando retaking control. It's going to be a shot towards the net from across field, and Pando barely makes his way back to the ball. Exotic gets the demo, but does allow the ball to go deep into the orange end, and it's going to be Farius forced to aggress it. It's a 1v1 Pando against Carter H. Carter gets a nice shot on net, but it's going to be cleared away by Pando. Farius trying to get this over. It's a double command on the blue side this time. 3 minutes left, plenty of time here for the orange team to get themselves back into this. And now Pando lobbing a shot over. It's not quite on net. Exotic catches it, gets it over into the mid, and Carter gets a demo. It cuts down the aggression. 0 boost on Exotic. He's trying to set this up for his teammate, trying to read some sort of clear, and Carter eventually comes through to take that ball away. Tries to make a solo play for himself. Exotic looking like he might try to want to get himself back into it, but still with low boost, it still manages to get the goal. Has 0 boost that entire time and just complete faith in a Carter to force a situation for him, and just hits the high altitude lobber straight in. 2 minutes 30. Half the time expired, and Sinister with their first goal on the board. It's perfectly doable, but Pando is not wanting them to do it. As Farius, a beautiful kickoff yet again in the series of good Tasbien Esports kickoffs, just to force an unfavorable situation, and Pando goes up for that shot, ends up just letting it drop into Exotic's chassis, and it goes straight into the orange goal. 2 minutes 30, and that sudden glimpse of hope has faded fast. Carter going to be trying to catch it off Exotic, but Farius going to catch it, get it back over. Pando just in the background, watching over the goal. It's a pass over to Exotic, who does end up slowing it down, but it's off the top crossbar. Farius gets it upfield. Pando gets a demo on Exotic as well, and that's a 4th goal on the board. And with 3 goals in front of them ahead of Sinister Esports. Sinister, here a part of Spiral Esports, apologies for that. 2 minutes left on the board. Sinister is going to have to start getting some shots on net. And Tasbien, they have just been playing this beautifully. They know that they don't need to double aggress on anything. They can just keep a guy back. They know that as long as they don't allow too many shots through, too many uncontested shots, mind you, then this game is almost certainly theirs. Farius, though, gets a little bit too aggressive. Pando is able to catch that ball and get it out, but Exotic keeps it alive. Farius now has to try to win this fight against Exotic. Doesn't know he has 0 boost, but a force is made. Farius gets to push up. Pando eventually having to clear that out. But with 1:40, the time is ticking, and that lead is not. Exotic gets it over in front of the net, has a shot on net, but a little bit too slow to it. Pando gets it away. Now Farius trying to get a shot on of his own low boost, but does force out a clear. Pando over both players as Exotic falls back to the wall, tries to clear this out. It's going to go over in front of the goal. A double commit on defense yet again as Exotic gets that ball away. Farius gets it over towards mid, forces out a little bit of a shot from Exotic, neither player to get it away. Pando bouncing it back over into mid. Exotic takes control. A minute left. They need to score here from the Sinister side. Pando gonna have it go back over into that orange corner, and this is just getting harder and harder as Carter tries to make a play, gets it over to Exotic, but Pando clears it away. It's gonna be a kill from Carter towards his own net. Exotic has to clear that, very nearly scores it, but gets it off the top right or top left crossbar to get it out in front of the net again. Farius trying to get this ball in, and it's going to be Carter who decides that it's scoring time. And 40 seconds left. A 4-goal lead for Tasbien Esports. It's basically in the books. Sinister is going to try their absolute best, but they need a kickoff goal here. Can they pull it off? It's going to be Pando up against Carter, and it's a straight shot on towards the goal. A 5-goal lead, mind you, with 34 seconds, and that will be, unfortunately, it, because there is almost no imaginable way. If Sinister can win this game, Man, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do, because it's looking impossible. It does actually go their way, and that's a shot over towards the goal, and Farius, out of pity, out of, I don't know, I don't know. He just decides that he's going to allow that one in. And Carter gets a second goal on the board for Sinister. The dream is still alive. That's actually exactly what they needed in the Miracle Run situation. 30 seconds. Can they force out another great kickoff? They actually can. It's not as fast, not as towards the goal, but Carter takes possession. Gets it over to himself in front of the goal. Back over. Exhaustic has a shot, but Pando to clear it away. And with 20 seconds left, yeah, that's the 5-goal lead again. And Sinister, they make a good play at it. They try to get this ball over into the goal, but at the end of the day, it's just not possible. And it's going to be 19 seconds left. And that will be it. Sinister will be dropping this one. But, I mean, you gotta say they put up a hell of a fight outside of this last game. I mean, every single game was so close. A real back and forth. And honestly, if a few of the lucky touches that went Tasbien's way did not go their way, I think that Sinister would have won this one. But unfortunately, that's how the game of Rocket League is played, and Tasbien Esports will be your victors. 3-2. And thank you, everyone.